Cheddar Man has turned out to be quite the opposite. This is a study of the 10,000-year-old skeleton's DNA. It shows that our ancestors were dark-skinned and blue-eyed. It has opened the question of what it means to be British.
It's really interesting, and it goes to further prove this point, that race is constructed, and our ideas about identity and who we are as a nation have massively changed over time. The reality is we are a nation of immigrants. Some have been here longer than others. But immigration is at the core of our national identity, and I do think if more people understood that, it would change the way we feel about who we are and what we stand for.
Well, our reporter Phil Edwards has been looking at this today. Really interesting stuff. Anthropologists very excited as well.
Yes, let's let the rest of us pretty intrigued as well. I mean, you and I both know now, Tom, that in our dim and distant past we have a dark-skinned black ancestor. 10% of the DNA of white Britons like you and me is derived from the tribe that Cheddar Man was a part of, that arrived here 10,000 years ago. I was going to say, on these shores, it wasn't actually an island back then, what is now Britain. We were landlocked to the continent. So they walked here, this first tribe, would you believe. Now, older remains have been found. In fact, older remains have been found in the cave that Cheddar Man was found in, but previous visitors sadly didn't make it. They all got wiped out by disease or ice ages and what have you. But this man and this tribe did survive. Now, the remains were found in 1903 in Cheddar. That's why he's called Cheddar Man. And the assumption was made because of where it was, in Somerset, he must have been pale-skinned. But thanks to the latest DNA technology down at the Natural History Museum, they know otherwise. What they did, they drilled a little hole into his skull, collected the powder, and did the DNA analysis on that. He had black curly hair, he had blue eyes, and yes, he had very dark skin. And this has rewritten the knowledge about movements of people, the migration of people. What they now know is that dark-skinned, brown-skinned people were living in northern Europe far more recently than they thought. The original notion was, as soon as we started to migrate out of Africa 120,000 years or so ago, we started to get white there and then. We now know we didn't. The reason we did get lighter, is through natural selection and breeding with later arrivals who were themselves paler skinned. You don't need as much pigmentation in your skin in these latitudes. In fact, you're better off without it because your body can make more vitamin D. So that's the reason for this. But as I say, it's changed our preconceptions completely. And it's an interesting development. It's got people really talking today because this is an era in which we still have racial tensions, we have identity politics, but this has really given us food.
Like you said, 10% of the British population will be descended from someone like Cheddar Man.
Well, no, everybody has got 10% of their DNA from Cheddar Man. It affects all of us.
Okay, yeah. They've got to come up with the best name than Cheddar Man, surely. Maybe when it's on display at the Natural History Museum. Let's have a quick look at what sport have got after this break.